Aaron walked into the dusty spaceport hall with his hands shoved deep in his pockets. The place smelled of oil, rust, and old wires. Lights flickered above him, and voices echoed all around. He had saved for years just to come here. His dream was simple. He wanted a ship of his own. Not a fine battleship, not a grand freighter, just something that could carry him beyond the station where he had lived all his life. The auction had already begun when he entered. A man in a long coat stood at the front, speaking in a loud voice, pointing toward ships displayed on large screens. The crowd cheered whenever the price went down. Most of the people here were traders, scavengers, and fortune seekers. Aaron did not have their wealth, but he had determination. The first few ships were sold quickly. A rusty freighter went for far more than Aaron could afford. A sleek shuttle was bought by a merchant with a smug smile. Aaron tried not to lose hope. He had to wait for the right moment. The auctioneer's voice rose again. Next on the list. Lot 17. The Starlight Dawn. The screen lit up with the image of a long silver vessel resting in a hangar bay. Its hull showed scars from age and travel. Some parts looked patched, some looked untouched for centuries. A hush fell over the room. People whispered. Aaron caught pieces of their words. That ship again, no one dares take it, cursed vessel. Aaron frowned. He had never heard of the Starlight Dawn. To him it looked beautiful, even if it was worn. Its shape was elegant, like a blade of light frozen in metal. The auctioneer cleared his throat. This ship has been in storage for a long time. Records show it comes from a forgotten age. Many owners have refused it. Many walked away. But today, as always, it is here for sale. Starting price, 200 credits. The crowd stayed silent. No one raised a hand. Aaron's heart beat faster. 200 credits was low. It was less than half of what he had saved. He looked around the hall. Traders shook their heads. Some even laughed. 200, the auctioneer repeated. No bids. Aaron raised his hand before fear could stop him. The auctioneer pointed. 200 to the young man in the back. Any other bid? Still silence. No one challenged him. Sold, the auctioneer declared, striking the board with his hand. The Starlight Dawn goes to Aaron. For a moment, Aaron could not believe it. He had just bought a ship. A real ship. He heard a few snickers from the crowd, but he did not care. Excitement rushed through him. When the auction ended, Aaron walked to the desk to sign the papers. The clerk was an old man with tired eyes. He slid the documents across the counter. "Young man," the clerk said, "you should know this ship is not like the others. There are conditions." "What kind of conditions?" Aaron asked. The clerk shook his head slowly. "You will see soon enough. Just remember, you chose it." Aaron signed anyway. Nothing could dampen his joy. He had won a ship for less than he ever dreamed. Hours later, he stood before the Starlight Dawn in the dim hangar bay. The ship was larger than he had expected. Its silver hull glowed faintly under the hangar lights. A set of stairs led up to the hatch. Aaron took a deep breath and walked inside. The air inside smelled clean, almost too clean. The corridors were smooth and silent. He passed doors that refused to open when he touched them. Strange symbols lined the walls, glowing softly. It did not feel like any human ship he had seen before. He reached what looked like the control chamber. Screens surrounded a single chair in the center. Dust covered the controls, but the place seemed untouched by time. Aaron felt a shiver of awe. Then he noticed another door at the back of the chamber. Unlike the others, it was sealed with a heavy lock. A faint light glowed from within. Aaron hesitated, but curiosity pulled him closer. He placed his hand on the panel. To his surprise, it opened with a soft hiss. Inside was a small chamber. In the middle stood a stasis pod made of crystal and steel. And inside the pod was a figure. Aaron froze. It was not a machine. It was not cargo. It was a person. A woman with pale blue skin lay inside, her eyes closed, her long hair floating slightly in the stasis field. She looked peaceful, like someone asleep for 1,000 years. Aaron's breath caught in his throat. He stumbled backward. The clerk's warning echoed in his mind. Conditions. He realized then that the ship he had bought was no ordinary vessel. It carried a secret. It carried her. As he stared at the pod, the lights in the chamber flickered, and for a brief moment, he thought her eyes moved beneath her lids. Aaron backed away slowly, heart pounding. He had dreamed of winning a ship. But what he had received was something far greater and far stranger. The Starlight Dawn was not just a prize. It was a mystery. And that mystery had only begun to unfold. Aaron could not sleep. He had tried to rest in the small cabin he had claimed as his own, but his thoughts kept returning to the pod in the ship's chamber. The pale blue figure inside haunted his imagination. Who was she? Why was she here? And what had the clerk meant by conditions? Morning light spilled through the hangar windows, but Aaron did not leave the ship. Instead, he returned to the pod, staring at it as if expecting it to answer his questions. His hand hovered above the panel, trembling slightly. A soft hum filled the room. The stasis pod pulsed, as if it had sensed his presence. Then, slowly, the panel on top of the pod slid open. Light filled the chamber, and the woman inside began to stir. Her eyes fluttered open, revealing a color that seemed to shine like liquid silver. Aaron stumbled back, his heart racing. I didn't know you would wake so soon," he said, unsure if she could even understand him. The woman blinked slowly. She lifted her hand, delicate and pale, and touched the glass of the pod. The glass responded to her touch, melting away like water until it disappeared entirely. She stepped out, her movements smooth, precise, and almost ethereal. "My name is Myra," she said. Her voice was soft, musical, and carried a strange authority. "I have waited a long time." Aaron blinked. "You waited? For me?" Myra shook her head. "Not for you alone. I am bound to this ship. Any captain who claims the vessel awakens me. I serve as its caretaker and companion. You are now the captain of the Starlight Dawn." Aaron swallowed hard. Companion? Caretaker? Myra looked around the chamber, her eyes scanning every control panel, every wall, every corner of the room. "I keep the ship alive. I repair systems, guide navigation, and protect the vessel. I cannot be separated from it. Nor can the ship be separated from me without risk." Aaron tried to understand. "So you run the ship?" Myra nodded. "Together, we are complete. You command, I assist. I do not take orders lightly. The ship and I are linked. Your intentions must be true, or harm could come to both of us." Aaron took a deep breath. His mind spun with questions. "And if I do not wish this?" Myra's silver eyes softened. "You do not have to decide now. But you cannot undo what has been done. You claimed this vessel. That claim awakens me. We are bound until the journey is finished, or the bond is willingly respected. Aaron's heart pounded in his chest. He had wanted a ship, but he had never imagined this. He thought of selling the Starlight Dawn for money, of leaving the strange woman behind, but he felt a deep hesitation. Something about Myra, something about the ship, made him pause. For hours, he watched her explore the ship. She moved with purpose, touching panels, adjusting systems, reading data he could not understand. The ship seemed to respond to her presence. Lights flickered gently, doors opened without command, and systems hummed to life as if she were speaking to them without words. Finally, Aaron asked, "Why does the ship need you?" Myra turned to him. "This vessel is old. It was built by a civilization that no longer exists. Without my guidance, its systems will fail. It will drift in space until it is lost. I am the key to its survival. I am also the guide for its captain. You cannot navigate the stars without me." Aaron nodded slowly. He realized then that he had not bought a simple ship. He had acquired something far more extraordinary. A living companion who could unlock the secrets of the Starlight Dawn and carry him beyond anything he had imagined. As he moved closer, Myra stepped toward him. "I sense your hesitation," she said gently. "You have not done this before. Humans rarely bond with ships like me. Most fear what they do not understand. That is natural." Aaron swallowed. "I am not afraid. I don't know what to do." Myra smiled faintly. "Then begin by learning. I will show you the systems. You will command, I will guide. Together, we will travel farther than any human has gone alone." Aaron felt a spark of excitement. He had always dreamed of flying among the stars. Now, with Myra by his side, it was no longer a dream. It was real. She led him to the control chamber, her hands hovering over panels as if speaking to them. The ship responded instantly. Screens lit up, showing maps of the nearby sector, star charts, and distant systems. Lights glowed softly along the walls, tracing the contours of the ship's interior. Aaron took the captain's chair, his fingers brushing the controls. The ship hummed beneath his touch, steady and strong. He felt Myra's presence beside him, guiding him without words, giving him confidence. "See," she said, "the ship listens. But it listens best when the captain trusts the caretaker." Aaron nodded, understanding slowly. He could not treat Myra as a tool, nor could he fear her. She was part of the ship, part of the journey, part of his own adventure now. Hours passed as she taught him basic functions, showing him hidden compartments, emergency systems, and navigation protocols. Aaron felt a mix of awe and gratitude. Myra was patient, yet firm. Her knowledge of the ship seemed limitless. When evening came, Aaron stood by the viewport, watching the station lights fade as the hangar doors opened. Myra stood beside him, silent, watching as well. "Tomorrow," she said softly, "we will leave this place. You must be ready. The stars await, and there are challenges ahead. Some will test you. Some will test the bond between us. You must be steady." Aaron looked at her, feeling a new sense of purpose. "I will be ready. We will face whatever comes." Myra inclined her head. "Good. That is all I ask. Together, we can do more than you imagine." As the hangar faded behind them, Aaron felt a thrill in his chest. He had bought a ship, yes, but more than that, he had awakened something extraordinary. Myra was not just a companion. She was a guide, a protector, and perhaps the key to his destiny among the stars. The journey had begun. Morning light spilled over the hangar, cutting through the misty air and reflecting off the silver hull of the starlight dawn. Aaron could hardly contain his excitement. Today, for the first time, he would take the ship out into open space. He had practiced with the controls under Myra's guidance for hours, learning how to adjust the engines, monitor the systems, and read the star maps. Still, a nervous tension gripped him. Myra stood beside him in the control chamber, her silver eyes calm and steady. "Remember," she said, her voice soft but firm, "the ship responds to both of us. You command. I guide. Trust the bond. It will protect us if we work together." Aaron nodded, gripping the controls. The hangar doors loomed ahead, slowly beginning to open. Outside, the station stretched endlessly, a maze of platforms, docking bays, and ships of all sizes. He felt a surge of anticipation. His hands trembled, not from fear, but from the thrill of finally taking flight. "Engage engines," he said, his voice steadying as he found confidence in Myra's presence. The engines responded with a soft hum, then a steady roar. Lights flickered across the dashboard as systems came online. The ship vibrated gently beneath them, alive and aware. Myra's hand hovered near a panel, touching it occasionally. Small lights pulsed in response, showing the ship's recognition of their combined command. "Steady," Myra said. "Now, release the clamps. Let's see her fly." Aaron pressed the controls. The clamps holding the ship in the hangar retracted with a smooth hiss. He pushed forward, and the starlight dawn lifted gently into the open air. The station fell away beneath them, growing smaller as they rose higher. The feeling of weightlessness, combined with the power of the engines, made Aaron's heart race. "We are flying," he said, almost in disbelief. "Yes," Myra replied, her eyes sparkling. "And this is only the beginning. The stars are beyond. You must learn to trust both yourself and the ship." Aaron nodded. He felt the hum of the ship, almost like it was breathing beneath him. It was alive in a way no human-made vessel could ever be. He glanced at Myra, and she gave him a small, encouraging smile. That simple gesture gave him confidence. The first few minutes were smooth. Aaron practiced basic maneuvers, turning, adjusting speed, and stabilizing the engines. Myra guided him silently, correcting mistakes before they could become dangerous. Her touch on the panels seemed to flow naturally, and the ship responded as if it were an extension of her being. Then, suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed across the control chamber. Aaron froze. "What is it?" he shouted. Myra's silver eyes narrowed. "There is an engine malfunction. A core relay is unstable. It could shut down the left thrusters." Aaron's fingers moved quickly over the controls, but the ship shuddered, lurching to the side. Panic rose in his chest. I can't stabilize it." Myra placed her hand over his. "Stop trying to control it alone. Let me guide you. Trust me." Her voice was calm, steady, and commanding. Aaron took a deep breath, letting her lead. The shuddering slowed. Lights stabilized. The ship responded smoothly as Myra worked with him, rerouting power, balancing engines, and correcting the course. Within moments, the crisis passed. Aaron felt a surge of relief and admiration. You saved us," he said, awe in his voice. Myra shook her head slightly. We saved each other. The ship trusts me because it trusts you. That is why the bond is important. Aaron nodded slowly, realizing the truth in her words. This was not just a vessel, it was a partnership. He had thought he had bought a ship, but the Starlight Dawn had chosen him as much as he had chosen it. And Myra was the bridge between them. They continued their flight, leaving the station behind. Space stretched endlessly before them, a canvas of stars, nebulae, and distant planets. Aaron felt both small and infinite at the same time. He had dreamed of this moment for years, but now that it was real, it was even more incredible than he imagined. Myra guided him to test more advanced maneuvers. They practiced sharp turns, dives, and sudden ascents. Aaron learned quickly under her patient instruction. He began to anticipate her guidance, and their coordination became seamless. The ship responded like a living creature, moving gracefully as if dancing through the void. After hours of practice, they approached a small asteroid field. Aaron's stomach tightened. This was his first real test. He remembered Myra's words, "Trust the bond." He took a deep breath and entered the field. Rocks of all sizes floated silently in space, some small as pebbles, others large enough to crush a ship. Aaron guided the Starlight Dawn carefully, weaving between the obstacles. Myra's hand hovered over panels, redirecting power to shields and stabilizers. Together, they moved through the field, faster than Aaron thought possible. They emerged safely on the other side. Aaron's hands shook slightly, but he was grinning. "We did it," he exclaimed. Myra smiled. "Yes. And you learned more than just flight. You learned trust. You and I must always work together. That is the strength of this ship." Aaron looked at her, a new respect forming in his eyes. "I understand now. You're not just part of the ship. You are the ship in a way I cannot fully explain." Myra inclined her head. "And you, Captain, are its guide. Together, we can do more than either of us could alone." As they left the asteroid field behind, Aaron felt a new sense of purpose. He had not just taken the Starlight Dawn on its first flight, he had begun a journey that would change his life. Myra's presence was no longer strange or frightening. It was reassuring, even comforting. He realized that their bond, strange as it seemed, was the key to their survival and success. The stars stretched endlessly ahead. Space was vast, full of danger and opportunity. But for the first time, Aaron felt ready to face it all. With Myra by his side, he was not alone. He had a partner, a guide, and a ship that would respond to their combined will. The Starlight Dawn hummed beneath him, alive and aware. Aaron took a deep breath, feeling the thrill of flight and the excitement of the unknown. This was only the beginning. The galaxy awaited, and he was ready to explore it with Myra guiding the way. Together, they soared deeper into space, ready to meet whatever challenges awaited them, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. Aaron and Myra had been traveling through a quiet sector of space for several days. The Starlight Dawn moved smoothly between distant stars, guided by Myra's precise touch and Aaron's careful commands. The vast emptiness of space usually brought peace, but today, Aaron felt a subtle tension. Something in the back of his mind warned him that calm often preceded trouble. Myra noticed his unease. "You feel it too," she said softly, her silver eyes scanning the star charts. "There is activity nearby. Something, approaching." Aaron leaned over the controls, squinting at the scanners. "I see blips," he said. "Small ships, fast, coming from the asteroid belt. Myra's gaze sharpened. Pirates. They hunt for easy prey. Our ship may look old and alone, but it is valuable. Aaron swallowed hard. He had never faced danger like this in space before. What do we do? He asked. Myra placed her hand over the navigation panel. We do not run blindly. We outsmart them. Trust me. The sensors showed several small, jagged ships approaching quickly, their weapons glowing faintly. Aaron could feel the tension building in the ship. Myra's presence was calm but commanding. Prepare defenses, she said. Engage shields and ready the evasive systems. Aaron followed her instructions. The shields hummed to life, encasing the Starlight Dawn in a protective field. The ship shivered slightly as power shifted to the engines and defensive systems. He realized that Myra's bond with the ship allowed her to sense danger before the instruments could. The pirates opened fire, sending streams of bright energy toward the Starlight Dawn. Aaron instinctively ducked as the hull shuddered from the impact. They are fast, he shouted. We can't outrun them. Myra's silver eyes glowed with determination. Not with speed alone. We will use strategy. She gestured toward the controls, and the ship responded instantly. Hidden thrusters fired, propelling them in sudden arcs. The pirates' shots missed narrowly. Aaron leaned forward, following her guidance. Do you always do this? He asked, awe in his voice. Always, Myra replied calmly. The ship trusts me, and I trust you. We move together. We think together. That is why the pirates underestimate us. One pirate ship closed in aggressively. Aaron's hands trembled as he aimed the defensive lasers. Myra guided him silently, touching the panels lightly. The lasers fired automatically, striking the approaching vessel's shields. Sparks flew from the enemy ship, and it veered away, damaged but not destroyed. Aaron felt a surge of confidence. I think I can do this, he shouted. Myra nodded, her silver eyes gleaming. You are learning. But stay focused. They are many, and they are clever. The next attack came from a group of 3 ships approaching from the opposite side. Aaron hesitated, unsure which to target first. Myra's hand rested on his shoulder. Do not think like one person. Think like the ship. Feel the flow of movement. Anticipate their paths. Following her guidance, Aaron shifted the Starlight Dawn in a wide arc, dodging incoming fire. He fired the lasers carefully, hitting the hull of one pirate ship and disabling its engines. The other 2 ships tried to flank them, but Myra anticipated their moves, adjusting the shields and redirecting energy to the maneuvering thrusters. Minutes felt like hours as the battle continued. The Starlight Dawn danced between the enemy ships, narrowly avoiding collisions, firing accurately, and moving as if it were alive. Aaron began to understand the true power of the bond he shared with Myra. It was not just her guidance, it was a connection with the ship itself. Finally, after an intense chase and exchange of fire, the pirates began to retreat. Sparks flew from damaged ships, engines sputtered, and energy weapons went silent. Aaron and Myra watched as the last pirate vessel disappeared into the darkness of space. Aaron exhaled slowly, his hands shaking from the adrenaline. We did it. We actually did it. Myra's silver eyes softened. Yes. You kept calm. You listened. You trusted the ship. That is why we survived. Aaron looked at the ship, still humming steadily beneath them. He felt a deep respect for it and for Myra. I never imagined flying a ship like this could be so alive, he said. Myra smiled faintly. It is not just a ship. It is part of us now. We protect each other. That is why it is so valuable and why pirates fear it. Not because of weapons or speed, but because of the bond that guides it. Aaron nodded, feeling a mix of pride and humility. He realized that the victory was not just about surviving the attack. It was about learning to work together, to trust the connection between human, caretaker, and vessel. After the pirates had gone, the Starlight Dawn returned to a steady course, gliding smoothly through space. Aaron leaned back in the captain's chair, taking a deep breath. "Thank you," he said quietly. Myra tilted her head. "Do not thank me alone. Thank yourself. You followed my guidance. You made decisions. That is what a captain does. You are learning to be one, and I am learning to trust you as one." Aaron smiled, feeling a warmth he had not expected. He had feared the unknown, feared the responsibility, but now he saw the reward. With Myra and the ship together, he was capable of things he had never imagined. Hours passed as they continued their journey. The battle left them both alert but stronger. Aaron checked the systems, ensuring no damage had been missed. Myra assisted silently, her hands gliding over panels with precision. The ship responded smoothly to her touch, energy balanced perfectly, engines optimized for maximum efficiency. Finally, they approached a quiet star cluster. Aaron allowed himself to relax. He looked out at the stars, realizing that the galaxy was vast, full of danger, but also full of opportunity. The encounter with the pirates had been frightening, but it had also shown him the potential of what they could achieve together. Myra stood beside him, her silver eyes reflecting the distant lights. "Do you understand now?" she asked softly. Aaron nodded. "Yes. The ship, you, me, together, we are stronger than any threat. I see it now." Myra inclined her head. "Good. But remember, challenges will come again. The galaxy is full of those who would take advantage of weakness. We must always be ready, always trust the bond." Aaron looked at her, feeling determination growing inside him. "I am ready," he said firmly. "We will face whatever comes, and we will survive, together." The Starlight Dawn glided through space, quiet and steady. Aaron felt a deep sense of purpose. He had won a ship, discovered a companion, and now faced the galaxy with courage. The battle with the pirates had tested them, but it had also prepared them for the journey ahead. Together, Aaron and Myra moved forward, their bond stronger than before. The stars awaited, full of danger and promise. And the Starlight Dawn carried them, alive and aware, ready to face whatever challenges the universe might send their way. After the encounter with the pirates, Aaron and Myra spent days traveling through quiet sectors of space. The stars stretched endlessly before them, and the Starlight Dawn moved gracefully, humming like a living being. Aaron had grown more confident as a captain, guided by Myra's steady presence. But curiosity burned in his mind. He had to know more about the ship and the woman who had awakened within it. One evening, as they drifted near a small cluster of asteroids, Aaron finally asked, "Myra, why was this ship abandoned? Why did no one want it?" Myra's silver eyes glowed faintly in the dim light of the control chamber. "The ship has a long history," she said. "It was built by a civilization that existed long before humans reached the stars. My people were part of that age. We created ships like the Starlight Dawn to explore, protect, and guide. Each ship had a caretaker, a companion who could connect with its systems." Aaron listened, fascinated. Caretaker? So you were made for this ship? Myra nodded. Yes. I am bound to it. My life is linked to the ship's life. That is why I can operate systems humans cannot. That is why the ship responds to my presence. Together, we are one entity in many ways. Aaron stared at her, understanding dawning. But why was it left at auction? Surely someone would have cared for it before me. Myra's expression grew solemn. It was abandoned because humans feared what they did not understand. Many before you tried to control me as if I were a tool. They ignored the bond that makes the ship strong. When they failed, the ship became dangerous to them. That is why it was considered cursed. Many owners walked away or refused it entirely. Aaron's mind raced. He had thought he had gotten lucky at the auction, but now he realized that fortune had nothing to do with it. The ship had chosen him in a way, and Myra had trusted him to handle the responsibility. Do you mean, he said slowly, the ship could have harmed the wrong person? Myra's silver eyes met his. Yes. The bond is powerful. It cannot be broken without consequence. Those who tried to control me or ignore the ship's needs often face disaster. That is why I warn you, Captain. Respect the ship, respect the bond, and it will serve you well. Disrespect it, and it will not hesitate to defend itself. Aaron nodded solemnly. I understand. I will not treat you as property. I promise. Myra's lips curved in a small smile. Then we will succeed. That is the first step. For the next few hours, Myra shared more of the ship's history. She spoke of ancient journeys, of worlds explored, and of civilizations long gone. She explained that the Starlight Dawn was part of a fleet that once patrolled the edges of the galaxy. Its mission had been to observe, protect, and maintain peace. Over centuries, the fleet had dwindled, and many ships were sealed with their caretakers inside, waiting for a worthy captain to awaken them. Aaron felt awe mixed with responsibility. So I am not just piloting a ship, he said. I am continuing its mission. Myra nodded. In a way, yes. But the mission has changed. The galaxy is different now. Humans, aliens, traders, and pirates all occupy the stars. Your task is to survive, explore, and learn. Protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is the essence of the bond. Aaron leaned back, absorbing her words. The Starlight Dawn was not just a vessel, it was a legacy. He felt the weight of responsibility pressing on his shoulders, but he also felt excitement. This was a chance to do something extraordinary, something no ordinary human could achieve alone. As they drifted further from the asteroid cluster, Myra guided Aaron through the ship's hidden systems. She showed him emergency power conduits, concealed compartments, and hidden navigation tools. Aaron marveled at the complexity of the design. Every system seemed to respond to Myra's presence, and her ability to manipulate them was astonishing. You see, Myra said, this ship is alive in ways humans cannot fully understand. It reacts to emotions, intentions, and decisions. That is why the bond is essential. Without it, the ship is vulnerable, and its power can be misused. Aaron nodded. I think I am starting to understand. You are not just a passenger. You are part of the ship, and I must respect that to survive and succeed. Myra's silver eyes glowed softly. Exactly. And that is why I remained dormant for so long. The ship waited for a captain who would understand this connection. You awakened me because I sensed potential in you. But the journey ahead will test us both. Challenges will come that require trust, skill, and courage. Aaron felt a surge of determination. I am ready. Whatever comes, we will face it together. Myra inclined her head. Good. That is the spirit a captain must have. But remember, understanding the ship and its history is only the beginning. You must also understand yourself. Confidence, patience, and awareness will be your greatest tools. Hours passed as they continued their journey, traveling past distant stars and through quiet nebulae. Aaron reflected on Myra's words, realizing that the bond between them was more than practical. It was personal, a connection of trust and respect that could shape their destiny. Finally, Aaron asked, Myra, do you miss your people? The civilization that built this ship? Her expression softened, a distant look in her silver eyes. I do. But that time is gone. My people are gone. I exist now to serve the ship and its captain. Memories are all I have left, and they guide me. But I will not dwell on the past. The present is what matters, and you, Captain, are part of it. Aaron nodded, feeling a sense of reverence. He realized that Myra's loyalty and wisdom were rare. She had lived for centuries, seen the rise and fall of civilizations, and now placed her trust in him. That trust was both a gift and a responsibility. As the stars stretched endlessly before them, Aaron felt a sense of unity with Myra and the starlight dawn. The ship hummed softly, a living presence beneath his hands. He understood that their bond was the key to survival, exploration, and perhaps greatness. Myra's voice broke the silence. Captain, rest soon. The galaxy awaits, and tomorrow will bring new challenges. Remember what you have learned today. The ship's history is yours to honor, and our bond will guide us through whatever comes next. Aaron looked at her, a feeling of awe and determination in his heart. I will honor it, Myra. I promise. Myra smiled faintly. Good. That is all I ask. Together, we will write a new chapter in the history of this ship and perhaps in the galaxy itself. As the starlight dawn glided smoothly through the dark expanse of space, Aaron felt a deep sense of purpose. The secrets of the ship had been revealed, and with Myra's guidance, he was beginning to understand his role. He was no longer just a human who had won a ship at auction. He was a captain of a legendary vessel, bonded with a caretaker whose wisdom and skill could guide them through the stars. The journey ahead would be filled with danger, discovery, and adventure. But Aaron was ready. He had Myra by his side, and together, they would face whatever the galaxy had to offer. Aaron and Myra had been traveling through space for several weeks. The starlight dawn hummed beneath them, smooth and steady, carrying them past distant stars, colorful nebulae, and silent asteroid fields. Aaron had grown more confident as a captain, mastering the ship's controls with Myra's guidance. Yet, a weight lingered on his mind, one he could not shake. One morning, as they approached a busy trading hub, a communication signal appeared on the main screen. The message was simple but urgent. A trader named Varen wanted to speak to the captain of the Starlight Dawn. Aaron activated the channel. A tall, sharply dressed man appeared on the screen, his smile wide but calculating. Captain Aaron, the trader said smoothly, I hear you possess a rare vessel. The Starlight Dawn, correct? Aaron nodded, unsure of where this conversation would lead. Myra's silver eyes flicked to him, alert and cautious. Yes, Aaron replied. What is this about? Varen leaned closer to the camera. I am willing to pay an enormous sum for your ship. Enough credits to make you wealthy beyond your dreams. A sum so high, It could set you up for life. All I ask is that you transfer ownership. You will be free of responsibility, and I will care for the vessel, in my way. Aaron's stomach tightened. Wealth and comfort had always been distant dreams. For a moment, the temptation was overwhelming. He could sell the ship, leave Myra behind, and enjoy a life he had never dared imagine. Myra's expression, however, was unreadable. Her silver eyes watched him carefully. She said nothing, but Aaron could sense her unease. "Why now?" he asked cautiously. "Why offer so much for an old ship?" Varen smiled, a sharp glint in his eyes. "Because it is valuable. Not just the hull or the engines. The bond within it, the caretaker, that is rare. A ship like yours is priceless to those who know its secrets." Aaron felt a chill. Myra's presence beside him seemed tense, as if she were preparing for something he did not yet understand. He realized then that the ship's value was not in metal or credits. It was in the bond, the connection that he and Myra shared. He turned to Myra. "What do you think?" he asked quietly. Myra's silver eyes met his, steady and unwavering. "If you sell, Captain, I will be taken from this ship. I will not survive in the same way outside it. My life is tied to the vessel. The bond cannot be broken without danger." Aaron's heart sank. The offer of wealth suddenly felt like a trap. He looked at Myra, realizing that she had become more than a caretaker. She was his partner, his guide, and perhaps his only true companion in the galaxy. Varen's voice cut through his thoughts. "Captain, this is a rare chance. Think carefully. No human has ever had such an opportunity." Aaron clenched his fists. The temptation was strong, but so was his conscience. He remembered the lessons Myra had taught him about trust, partnership, and the bond with the Starlight Dawn. To sell her, to sell their connection, would betray everything he had learned. He took a deep breath. "No," he said firmly. "The ship is not for sale. I will not part from it or from her. We are partners. That is the choice I make." Myra's silver eyes softened, and a faint smile appeared. "Good, Captain. That is the right decision. You have learned what it means to value the bond. True strength comes from trust, not wealth." Varen's expression darkened. "Very well," he said coldly. "But know this, opportunity like this does not come twice. Do not regret your choice." The screen went dark. Aaron exhaled, feeling a mixture of relief and pride. Myra placed a hand on his shoulder. "You have done well," she said softly. "You honored the ship, the bond, and yourself. That is what matters. The galaxy will test you again, but you are ready." Aaron looked out at the stars, feeling a deep sense of purpose. He realized that the greatest reward was not wealth, but the trust and partnership he shared with Myra and the Starlight Dawn. They had survived battles, faced danger, and learned to work together. That bond was more valuable than any credits in the universe. "Thank you, Myra," he said quietly. "For guiding me, for trusting me, and for being part of this journey." Myra inclined her head, her silver eyes shining with quiet pride. "And thank you, Captain, for understanding. Together, we will continue to explore, protect, and learn. That is our mission now." The days that followed were filled with new adventures. Aaron and Myra tested the ship's capabilities, navigated through dense nebulae, and explored remote star systems. Each journey strengthened their bond, teaching Aaron more about the ship, its history, and the caretaker who had guided him. One evening, As they floated near a glowing nebula, Aaron reflected on the choice he had made. Wealth could have been his. Comfort and luxury could have been his. Yet he felt no regret. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries, challenges, and opportunities for growth. With Myra by his side, he was ready to face them all. Myra approached him, her presence calm and reassuring. "Captain, there will be more tests," she said. "Not just from those who seek to take the ship, but from the galaxy itself. You must remain vigilant, confident, and compassionate. That is what a captain truly needs." Aaron nodded. "I understand. And I am ready. Whatever comes, we face it together." The starlight dawn hummed beneath them, alive and aware. The bond between Aaron and Myra had grown stronger with every challenge they faced. They had survived pirates, explored unknown space, and resisted temptation. Now, they were prepared for anything the galaxy might send their way. As they continued their journey, Aaron realized that the greatest power he possessed was not the ship's engines or weapons, but the partnership he shared with Myra. Together, they were capable of extraordinary feats. Together, they would navigate the dangers and wonders of the universe, leaving their mark on the stars. And so, with their bond unbroken and their purpose clear, Aaron and Myra sailed deeper into the galaxy, ready to write the next chapter of their story, confident that their choices would guide them through whatever lay ahead. Aaron looked out from the bridge of the starlight dawn, watching a vast field of stars spread endlessly before them. The galaxy was alive with possibilities, with distant planets, glowing nebulae, and star systems yet unexplored. After the challenges they had faced, the pirates, the choices, and the discoveries, Aaron felt a sense of calm he had never known before. He was no longer just a man who had won a ship at auction. He was a captain, bonded with a caretaker and a vessel unlike any other. Myra stood beside him, her silver eyes reflecting the distant starlight. "Captain," she said softly, "we have reached a point where the galaxy opens before us. You have learned much, faced danger, and proven your worth. But now, a new chapter begins." Aaron turned to her, feeling both anticipation and gratitude. "I could not have done any of this without you, Myra. You have guided me, protected me, and taught me to trust not just the ship, but myself." Myra inclined her head, a faint smile crossing her lips. "And you, Captain, have proven that trust is a two-way bond. The ship, myself, and you are stronger together. That is what allows us to face the unknown with courage." The sensors picked up a signal from a nearby planet. It was faint, almost like a whisper in space, but it was enough to draw their attention. Aaron approached the controls, and Myra assisted silently, guiding him to interpret the readings. The planet was uncharted, its surface covered in glowing crystals and vast oceans of liquid that shimmered under its sunday. "This world is unknown," Myra said, her voice calm but curious. "Few have set eyes on it. It may hold resources, mysteries, or even life. It is an opportunity, and also a test. How we approach it will reveal much about us as a crew." Aaron's heart raced. "Let's explore," he said firmly. "Carefully, but let's see what's there." The starlight dawn descended slowly into the planet's atmosphere. The ship responded to the environment with precision, its shields adapting to atmospheric pressure, and its thrusters adjusting to the gravitational pull. Myra guided Aaron through each maneuver, her knowledge and intuition allowing them to land safely on a flat, crystal-covered plateau. As they stepped outside, the view was breathtaking. Crystalline structures rose from the ground, catching the sunlight and scattering it in a rainbow of colors. Strange, translucent plants sway gently, and the air carried a faint, sweet scent. Aaron felt a thrill of discovery, realizing that this planet had never been touched by humans before. Myra observed the surroundings carefully. The environment is stable, but unknown. We must move with caution. The planet may have life forms, ecosystems, or energies that we cannot predict. Aaron nodded. We'll proceed slowly. I don't want to harm anything or put ourselves at risk. They explored the area, marveling at the beauty of the crystals and the unique formations. Myra taught Aaron how to read subtle signals from the environment, showing him how to detect energy flows and possible dangers. Aaron felt a growing sense of connection not only to Myra and the ship but also to the universe itself. Hours passed, and they discovered small creatures that shimmered with light, moving gracefully among the crystals. They seemed intelligent in their movements, aware of the explorers but not afraid. Aaron watched quietly, learning from Myra how to respect the balance of life on this new world. This is a beginning, Myra said softly. We are not just exploring. We are learning to understand and coexist. The galaxy is full of wonders, but respect and awareness will guide us safely. Aaron smiled. I see that now. It's not just about traveling or surviving. It's about learning, connecting, and growing. With you and the ship, I feel like I can do anything. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the crystal plains, Aaron and Myra returned to the starlight dawn. The ship's systems had monitored the environment while they explored, logging data and analyzing resources. Aaron felt pride in the vessel, realizing that it had grown even more reliable and intelligent under Myra's guidance. That evening, as they drifted above the planet, Aaron reflected on their journey. He remembered the auction, the awakening, the first flight, the pirate attack, and the choice he had made to honor the bond with Myra. Each step had tested him, taught him, and strengthened the connection between captain, caretaker, and ship. Myra approached him on the bridge, her silver eyes glowing softly. Captain, you have proven yourself not only to me but to the ship. The choices you made, the trust you showed, and the courage you displayed have prepared us for the future. Now, the galaxy is open to us. We are ready for whatever comes next. Aaron nodded, feeling a sense of purpose and determination. I know, Myra. And I promise, we will face everything together. We'll explore, protect, and learn. And we'll do it as a team. The stars stretched endlessly before them, a vast canvas of possibility. The starlight dawn hummed gently beneath them, alive and aware, responding to their bond and their intentions. Aaron felt a deep sense of gratitude and excitement. He had begun as a simple man with dreams of a ship, but now he was a captain, a partner, and an explorer of the unknown. As the night passed, they charted new courses, prepared for future discoveries, and strengthened the systems of the ship. Aaron felt the thrill of adventure in every star they passed, every planet they observed, and every mystery they encountered. Myra guided him with wisdom, patience, and a bond that grew stronger with every decision they made together. At the edge of a new star system, Aaron took a moment to look out at the vast expanse of space. This is only the beginning, he said quietly. We have so much to see, to learn, and to experience. And we'll do it together. Myra's eyes softened, her silver glow reflecting the starlight. Yes, Captain. The galaxy awaits. We are ready, and together we will face it with courage and wisdom. The starlight dawn glided forward, a silver beacon moving gracefully among the stars. Aaron felt the exhilaration of freedom, the joy of discovery, and the deep satisfaction of partnership. He had won a ship at auction, but he had gained far more: a companion, a bond, and a purpose that would guide them through the galaxy. And so, Aaron and Myra sailed into the unknown, their journey continuing with promise and adventure. Every star, every planet, and every discovery was a new beginning, a chance to explore the universe together. The Starlight Dawn was alive, its systems responding to their bond, and they were ready for anything the galaxy could offer. With courage, trust, and a shared purpose, Aaron and Myra faced the endless expanse of space. The universe was vast, full of mysteries and challenges, but together, they were unstoppable. This was their new beginning, and the story of the Starlight Dawn and its captain was just beginning to unfold.